Hello. Our report today is very important. The transitional phase in the War Thunder game has begun. A very new phase has begun. In the past, jet fighters in the game were limited in capabilities. For example, during the 1950s, most of the fighters were for interception or ground attack, and a few were for air combat due to fear of strategic bombers in the 60s. Small planes became more capable of carrying bombs of large weights, and some of them were capable of carrying nuclear bombs, so interception became the most important because ground attack aircraft were accompanied by fighters for air combat, so air combat became more in demand among air forces in the world. For example, Western aircraft relied on ground attack aircraft capable of carrying large bombs such as the F-14 Phantom and the Thunder Chi, with the ability for air combat if necessary, and in many cases they were accompanied by fighters more capable of air combat. As for the Eastern Province, it relied on interception aircraft such planes, the MiG-19 and MiG-21. They were required to maneuver and speed to intercept, so you will not find many missiles on them. Sometimes you will not find missiles at all. There was a great competition between Western and Eastern concepts. The first depends on heavy weight and great destructive capacity. The second depends on light weight and high speed. The West tried to abolish the concept of close air combat and rely on long-range air combat using missiles. An example of this is that the F-14, it did not have a machine gun in the beginning, so the MiG-21 was superior to it. Some even said that the 17 was superior to the F-14 plane. Therefore, you will find that the machine gun on the F-14 plane was added and removable in the 70s. The West arrived two more modern missiles. In addition to this, Western aircraft were able to carry from 6 to 8 air-to-air missiles, so Eastern aircraft began to suffer from major gaps in air combat, with little ability to carry missile, from 2 missiles to a maximum of 4, with only a few bullets for the machine gun, 300 rounds at best. Western superiority began to take its toll. The MiG-23 entered service with 6 missiles, but it became technologically backward. Worse than this, it relied on ground-based radars as assistance because its radar was suffering from many defects. The MiG-25, it appeared as a solution with the advantages of high speed, high altitude, long distance missiles, very powerful radar, but maneuvering is almost non-existent. As for the West, it arrived at the 4th generation F-14. The F-14 entered service before the MiG-25, which in turn was a response to the F-14. I don't know why the MiG-25 didn't appear in the game. In any case, until that moment, the plane was mostly confined to specific roles, such as interceptors, offensive fighters, ground support, and many other specific features. But the concept of multi-role began in the latter half of the 70s when the F-16 appeared, which served as an air combat aircraft with the ability to deliver effective strikes against very precise ground targets. The strange thing is that the East was relying on the 3rd generation MiG-23 and MiG-25 as a defensive basis, despite the appearance of 4th generation aircraft in the West. After a year or two, the F-15 appeared. The West now has 3 4th generation aircraft. As for the East, its main solution is still the MiG-23, MiG-25, and some modified MiG-21 aircraft. At the end of the 70s, the East began experiments with the 4th generation MiG-29. But the East was not in a hurry and seemed to be acting coolly with Western development. In 1982, over the Lebanese Bekaa Valley region, a very serious military air conflict occurred between Syria and Israel. Israeli F-16 and F-15 aircraft appeared against the Syrian MiG-21 and MiG-23 and shot down dozens of Syrian aircraft. The dangerous confrontation prompted the East to introduce the MiG-29 in 1983 as a response to Western development and to fill Eastern gaps. In the same year, the F-18 appeared, a new competitor to the MiG-29. Now the MiG-29 is facing for 4th generation aircraft. With much development, the MiG-29 emerged as an aviation icon with many problems, including an engine with thick smoke, little fuel, and a radar with multiple problems. In the face of all these problems amid clear Western superiority, It was necessary to produce a lethal fighter capable of restoring the Eastern reputation to its ancient position. Therefore, in 1984, the Su-27 entered service as an aircraft with a new Eastern concept, which is air supremacy. Now there is a dangerous competitor to Western aircraft, specifically the Su-27, facing the F-15. The F-15 aircraft has excellent radar features, a huge missile and bomb load, and is capable of flying for a very long time against the Sukhoi, which has very close specifications and superior maneuverability. Accordingly, from now on, the face of the War Thunder game has changed forever. Only those who have the skill will become the master of the game. Do not forget to share the video with friends to help us. Thank you.